garden friends, and welcome to my channel, DK's Garden Oasis. For those that don't know me, I am Debbie. I'm a master gardener and butterfly raising hobbyist. My purpose for doing these videos is to educate, inspire, and conserve in your garden. In today's video, I will show you how I'm going to be starting my Lisianthus in soil blocks. And this is the method that I'll be showing you. These are the soil blocks. This happens to be 3/4, the smallest block. So I'm going to be trying these this year. That is just one size. Make sure you stay till the end where I share a quote from the Greek philosopher Aristotle. So it's time to start your Lisianthus. They say to start them 12 to 13 weeks before your last frost. And this year I'm going to be trying them in soil blocks. Last year I tried them in the regular trays and I did not have success. They are a little finicky, so I'm going to be trying them as a different method this year to see if I can have more success. For those that don't know what a soil block is, as I said, this is a soil block, and the difference is that you use this and the seeds are planted in cubes rather than trays. The benefits of planting in soil blocks are they produce healthier and stronger plants, and you can plant them out sooner. Also, young plants adapt quicker and they don't get root bound. You also reduce the need for single-use plastics. Soil blocks also uses efficient use of space, so this is an excellent method if you have limited space for seed starting. There are a lot of different recipes online about starting soil blocks. I will show you one method that I'll be using this year, but there are many different types and you can make your own, which I will also be letting you know what you need to start your own. So today I'm going to be starting my Lisianthus, and for those that don't know what a Lisianthus is, it is a rose-like flower, and this year I purchased 6 varieties from Johnny's Seeds. I did go directly to their website for information about planting their seeds, and I'll leave that link in the description box below. You go to Grower's Library on the right-hand side, and then also you pick flowers and then find your type of flower, and then it'll give you some instructions as to how to plant and take care of that particular flower. There are now 4 different classes of Lisianthus. This year I do have 3. The 4th is, I believe, Rosetta is the type of class, and they have a class 4. And what all that means is that number 1 would be blooming first, and then number 2 would bloom about 2 weeks after, and so on and so forth. They can be standard, single, mini double, standard double, frill, and designer Lisianthus. They also come in a variety of colors. The seeds are very small and pelleted, so they look like this. They come in a little tube, and I'll try to show you this. This is what they come in. You can barely see them, but these are the seeds. Hopefully you'll be able to see these, and when I go plant them you'll be able to see them more, but these are just pelleted seeds. And why they're pelleted is the seeds are so small, they cover them with a coating, and once water hits them that will dissolve the seed. This just helps you in taking the seed and putting it into the soil block. It is crucial to keep the soil blocks moist in the first 2 weeks so the pellet can be dissolved. These Lisianthus take a long time from seed to bloom, so you want to start them between 12 and 13 weeks before your last annual frost date. Our annual last frost date is April 25th, so today is January 18th, so I am at 13 weeks and 6 days. So I'm right in that window to plant them. When you plant them, you do not cover them. I will be putting some vermiculite over to prevent some algae growth, but make sure that you do not cover them because they need light to germinate. Once they do emerge, then you would let the soil blocks dry out slightly, so you would water those daily and let those dry out, and then you make sure you transplant those no later than the 4th leaf stage. So I will show you that as we go through the season, and that is usually around 21 to 28 days. So these are the 6 types that I'll be growing, and again they're all from Johnny's. So the first one is Mariachi Pure White Pelleted, and I'll post the picture above of what that looks like. I have one number 2, and this is Voyage Yellow. And then the rest of them, the last 4 are Arena 3s. So I have Arena 3 Baby Pink, Arena 3 Blue Picotee, Arena 3 Apricot, and Arena 3 Gold. The blooms can last 2 weeks, which is why I enjoy them so much. Lisianthus planted from seeds reach their maturity around 5 to 6 months. You can grow them from plugs, and all that means is a greenhouse grows them from seed, and then they transport those to you. Generally, a wholesaler does that. So now I'm going to go down in my basement and show you how we're going to be starting those soil blocks and planting my Lisianthus. So this is where I start my seeds. We're in my basement right now, so it's definitely a multi-purpose room. And this is my shelving unit that I bought from Costco last year. I have my lights attached. I attached those last year that I bought, and I'll find the link for those. And then, of course, you need some seed mats. You also need... So these are the brand that I found online, and I'll link that in the description box. Those are the seed mats. The heat mats, rather. And then I have a digital timer so that I can set this all for 16 hours every day, and I don't have to come down and turn it on and off. I'll link that below. And then once the seeds get to be sprouts, then I put fans on, and that just makes the plant stronger so that they can, when they go outside, they have wind and everything. So this is just an artificial way of getting them stronger by having the wind move them around. So I have these as well. I'm going to be using this for my seed starting for my vegetables and some of my flowers. I'm going to try a couple. I try every year a different mix just to see what I like. Last year was Johnny's, and that did great. So this year I'm trying ProMix. It's organic seed starting mix. Today the soil blocks, I did have something else, but I will be using this for my seed starting. You also need Vermiculite, and this just keeps the moisture level. It keeps it moist. And this is Vermiculite from Espoma, so I use that. As far as soil blocks, I have 3 different sizes. So I have 2 of these 3/4. I showed you that before. And these are from Johnny's. So these are what I'm going to use today. This is 3/4. And there's 20 in there. Then I have the 1.5 inch. And there's 5 blocks. I used this quite a bit last year. I did not use the little ones last year. I was just, because it says, your first year, maybe you should go for the bigger ones just to experience what it's like using them. So last year I used those for a lot of my seeds. And this is the Big Daddy, and I'll be making a few of these. So this is a 2 inch. So what you do is you start off with these. Then once they're big enough, you can put them in the middle of this seed block to grow on until they go outside. So I'm going to try that this year. So those are the 3 sizes. And I'm going to bring the camera a little closer so you can see the other things. So now I brought you a little closer. So next what you need are, for the seeds, I use this little tin that I got from Gardener's Workshop. So you need something metal because this prevents static electricity, and the seeds are really hard to chase around when they're static. So this helps in that. So I'm going to try that this year. Of course, gloves. And I'm going to sit down and show you these. Okay, so gloves. I have my plant tags and this garden marker. This is great. This is an ultraviolet proof garden marker so it won't fade. It will not disappear, the writing. So you got to have one of these. So tags and a marker. Toothpicks to get your seed. I already showed you I have 2 of these 3/4. And then I have some wipes, you know, to wipe your hands. Plastic wrap to cover the seeds, because for most of the soil block methods there isn't covers like the trays have. So you just need some saran wrap. This is to move around the seeds, the soil blocks if you need to, but they recommend not touching them. So they just give you this in case you need it, but hopefully I will not. This is for mixing your soil and all the ingredients, and you can use this. It looks online they have a few people that use this. It is just a scraper, a wall scraper, dry wall scraper, or a masher, a potato masher, so you can get one of these, and that's good for mixing and also scraping the bottom of the soil blocks. So I like this. Let's see, then you need your trays to put the soil blocks in. So I'm going to put my Lisianthus in this tray today, and I found this online. I'll link it in the description box, and I'm hoping that they'll all fit on here, but there's other things that you can use, and I'll show you those. So even something as simple as a carry for food, you can use this and just cover it. So I'm keeping this because I might need it for putting my soil blocks in. So something as simple as that. I also have from Gardener's Workshop 2 different sizes of styrofoam. So I'm going to possibly use these. I have a bunch of these. Also, different sizes. I will be using all of these. These are from Gardener's Workshop as well. These are just smaller trays. So I'm going to just see how many I can fit in each and how it works out. This might take up too much real estate, but it'll be good to just put all my Lisianthus in there, and maybe I'll use just these for everything else. So we'll see how that works out. These behind me are just different trays that I'll be using for my other seed starting, which I'll talk about in a couple of videos about what other supplies you need to seed start. So that's what else we would use for soil blocking. So I had bought from Gardener's Workshop this, and it's Gardener's Workshop organic blocking mix, and it was already had everything in it, but they don't carry it anymore. So they have in their website how to make it and what you need to make a blocking mix recipe, and again I will link that above, and then I'll also link it in the description box. So you need 16 cups of, they say peat moss or cocoa fiber. There's gardeners out there that are not using peat anymore and trying to stay away from that. So you can Google the reasons why you might not want to use peat. Cocoa fiber is the next thing that you could try to use, and that is just the husks of the coconut. So that's more natural than the peat. So you can use, you do 16 cups of the sifted cocoa fiber, let's just say, 4 cups of sifted compost, a 1/4 cup of green sand, and a 1/4 cup of rock phosphate or nutrient mix that Gardener's Workshop have. And like I said, I got everything that's mixed, but I am going to put a little bit of other nutrients in this mix in a couple minutes. And then you mix the ingredients when they're dry, and they say it's 3 parts dry to 1 part water. So this one had 20 cups, and I added, they said to add between 6 and 7, and I did add 7, and I let it sit overnight so it can soak it all up. I'm going to need to add a little bit more water once we add the green sand. So this is what else I'm going to add, and I've seen a couple other people on YouTube use these other things besides the green sand. This, ooh, it's heavy. This is the green sand, and I got this online. It's Old Cobbler's Farm green sand, so I'm going to keep this right here because we're going to just put in 1/4 of a cup. And then this is Mycchorrhizae, and this is a granular Mycchorrhizae. So these are just little nutrients to put in your soil black. So I'm going to put that in as well, just like just a little bit into it. So I think that is everything. Oh, I have a bucket of water here down below here with a measuring cup. So I'm going to, you know, in case I need more water, if I need to rinse something off, I have my bucket below me. What else? I think that is it. Of course, if you need a shovel to scoop out your soil, and then this is my favorite tool, but I'm not sure we're going to be using this. This is from Gardener's Workshop. It's a little rusty, probably because I left it while it was wet and it got a little rusty, and I should have probably put some oil on it and protected it. But I love this shovel, and I did have like 3 and now I'm down to 1, so I might need to get a couple more of these. This is my favorite little one, and this one is awesome for taking out transplants out of your trays, but today I'm not sure we'll even need this. And then of course I have this green tray, which you'll see in a minute when we start mixing around our soil blocks. Green tray from Johnny's. I have 2 trays out here, so I just have my supplies in one. Sometimes I have more dry soil in one. And then what I'm going to be working with is on the right here. So let me get started with soil blocks. I'm going to start with the soil blocks now. And I'm going to put on some gloves. I'm going to put the Mycchorrhizae in, and I'm just going to take a little scoop. Now it says that you should have did this dry, but I just wanted this to sit overnight. And so if you are doing this, just make sure you mix this up dry. I think it just incorporates better. So just a little scoop of that. And then they said a 1/4 cup of the green sand. All right, so you're going to take your soil block, and what you're going to do is you're going to put it in. This is the plunger. This is what you plunge them out with. So what they say to do is put it down in the mixture, kind of hold on to the sides here and twist it, and then do it 2 times to make sure that you get all the blocks. Then before you pick it up, because sometimes there's some suction, you turn it to the side and lift. So let's give that a try. So what we're going to do is we're mixing all the ingredients here, making a pile in the center. And the consistency should be like wet oatmeal. So you're going to push down, twist, down, twist, pick up from the side, scrape, all right, and I'm going to get my tray. Push down on the plunger. Let's see if you can see this. Yes, okay. Because I don't want to have to move these. So push down and lift up. And what I'll do is I'll just show you putting the seeds in here, and then I'll show you at the end what it looks like. So has anybody had luck growing Lisianthus? 2 years ago, I planted them, and I must have had one that grew, and I brought it inside, overwintered it, and last year I brought it back out, and I repotted it, and I did have blooms. So, but last year, trying to grow from seed, I tried to do a few more, and I did not have luck. So I'm going to give it one more time. You're going to hear the heat go on here, so sorry about that. How's the weather where you guys are? We've had a very mild winter so far. We had a cold snap before Christmas, and then we had a pretty big snow on Christmas, or was it Christmas Eve, I believe. And it's been mild since. I mean, mild as far as Chicago weather goes. We're probably going to get hit with some snowstorms in February like we have in the past. I have all my tags ready, so I kind of color coordinated most of them so I can tell which one is which. They did have a great idea, which I am going to be getting, so you can buy some painter's tape and then put it on the side. That way the water, you know, you can use masking tape, but that usually curls up if it gets wet. So let's start with Arena Gold. And so again, so this is from Johnny's, and I'll post that picture again of this one. It's Arena 3 Gold, and this is the pelleted seeds. They're just little pelleted seeds. So I'm going to take this little metal dish, open it carefully, pour all those in there, grab a seed. So let's put it in the first spot. Okay. I'm going to take all these. It's looking like I'm probably going to be needing more space. So I am going to plant all of these because they did say that pelleted seeds, most times you can use your seeds from year to year if you don't use them all, but they did say pelleted don't have a good germination rate if you try to reuse them. So I'm going to use all of them, and I'm just going to do all of these seeds and see what happens. Out of all of these seeds, six packages of seeds, I hope I get a few of the Lisianthus because they are just beautiful flowers. Again, they look like roses. They last for about 2 weeks in the vase, and they are just gorgeous flowers. So this is white pelleted, as you can see, and I'm just putting them in contact with the soil. And then what I'm going to do after we finish this one block is I will put some vermiculite over, and then I will go ahead and finish these up and show you what it looks like at the end. This is vermiculite, so I'm just gonna sprinkle that over it. So I know where I left off. And hopefully these babies will grow for me. I'm not giving up on them. Next year I will probably try plugs, and those are again they are started in a greenhouse. I did get some in December, but I was gone for the weekend. They did not look so good when I came home, and they eventually all died. So next year, if I do get plugs, I'll have my setup ready to go in December, now that I know. So that's what we're gonna do. And this one is, I'll get some painter's tape, and so that I know which one this is. So that's it for now. I'll come back in a few minutes and show you the rest. Okay, so this is the last of the blocks, and what I found is it's better to be wet than dry, because if you do have to move them, like one didn't have one of these blocks in, I didn't check it before I scraped, and so it was still stuck in the black, so I was able to use the little, I was able to use these and move them because it was very wet. So note to self, last year I think I did them a little too dry. So I'm on my last one, and this one is Mariachi Pure White, and I'm going to change this around because this was a Voyage 2. That was the Voyage 2, and this is going to be Mariachi White. And these seeds are yellow. I think you can see these. Let's see, they're yellow. And then we'll put them in this tin. I'm going to sit down for this so you guys can see me. And you're watching from above, so and then here's your little seed, and then you just place it in, and we should have about 60 of these. And for me, I still had some soil left to make more black, so I'm just going to leave that. And then the next couple of videos I'll be starting my cool flowers. I don't have a hoop house to put outside, but I might do some cool flowers, and I do have a cloth that I can put over them, so I may do that. And then I have some ranunculus that I'll be doing soon, and anemones, and those I am going to, I didn't have success. I had success doing the actual corms, but the rabbits got a hold of them. So I'm going to do what I did with the dahlias and put little waste paper baskets, mesh waste paper baskets right over them so they have airflow. The bunnies couldn't get to them, and then once they emerged and they were tall enough, I put a fence around it. I may or may not do that. I probably will, because I don't want the bunnies to eat them, and in the spring especially there's not a lot of green, so they're going to go after anything that has a little bit of green. So I learned my lesson last year. So I will be doing that in a couple videos. I'll be doing the ranunculus and the anemones, and also I'll be doing my winter sowing. So like I said, I'm going to be finishing up the seed haul, the last seed haul, the natives and pollinator plants. Then I'm going to be doing probably I'll be doing the winter sowing. And then from there I will be doing the ranunculus and anemones and starting the cool flowers. And then once March comes, it's going to be all hands on deck, because that's when seed starting really gets cranking. So let's see how many. I hope I have like 20 left in here. I hope you can see that. This has got 2 stuck to it. See, there's 1 on there now. So we got maybe 20 more, hopefully. If I have a couple extra, I have a couple that I can put on the other tray as well, that I had some extras. So it's pretty easy. I've got a system down now once you get going. And so let's see, if each of the packets did 60, I had 60 pelleted seeds. So we will see how many emerge, and maybe I'll do a couple of short YouTube videos and show you progress. I am coming up on a year. I believe my first video was sometime in the first week of February. So I am almost at a year, and my goal was to have, look at that, just enough seeds. But anyways, my goal was to have 250 subscribers, and I'm not sure where I was at today. I think I was at 231, and I have 2 more weeks to go. So about 20 more, and I've reached my goal, which I'm very excited about. Of course, I'm gonna bump that up on the next goal, but yeah, I'm almost at a year, and I have learned a lot over the past year. So what we're going to do from here is vermiculite over it. And I'm going to stand up for this a little bit. And then what you're going to want to do, and again, I'll do a little, I'll add tomorrow a little video of me watering these so you can see what I'll be doing. So that's my vermiculite. And then I have a couple, so this one I wanted to show you, the bigger tray. I have a couple, I only filled these and I pulled away the rest so that I can pour water. So when you pour water, you want to get into the tray and not over the soil block. So yeah, so we've got Arena Gold, Arena Blue Picotee, Arena Apricot, Arena Baby Pink. Let me put some vermiculite on this. I know there's nothing in those last couple seed soil blocks, but that's okay. I'll just put that over it. And then we've got, so that's those. And then we have the Mariachi Pure White and Voyage to Yellow. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with saran wrap. And I'm going to turn on the heat mats and check them tomorrow morning. See how they are. So let's hope I have better success this year planting in soil blocks, and I will keep you updated as they grow. I will leave all the links in the description box below for the seeds from Johnny's, where I got those from, and also all the tools that I used for starting the soil blocks. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and like this video. And if you would like to see future videos, hit the subscribe and notification bell to receive those. In my next video, I will be finishing up the last seed haul, and those are my pollinator native seed hauls, and that will be my last giveaway for this month. Lots of seeds starting to come, so make sure you stay tuned. Now I'd like to share that quote from Aristotle. Thanks for watching and happy gardening. Bye-bye.